Electric Adventures here with a follow-up video to my Coleco 40th anniversary, where I did, last video I did my top 10 classic Coleco game shoot-em-ups. I thought I'd do a follow-up because I like my Coleco and it's good to get some of the classic games again. So once again, these are all original release titles, and it's the top 10 of my picks of the arcade conversions. This is even harder than the shoot-em-ups because there's even more of arcade conversions, and some of the shoot-em-ups are of course great arcade conversions as well. I've tried to stay clear of the shoot-em-ups because obviously we've already done shoot-em-ups, so we're going to try and go for classic arcade games. Now this one I don't have complete in box, but you know, it's not an easy game to get hold of, and it's a really good game. So this, you know, this top 10 is just how they come. So number 10 is Tapper. A really good conversion of the arcade game, with quite a lot of detail that's very similar to the arcade game, and really good fun to play as well. I haven't had that one as long as some of my other Coleco games, so you know, that's putting it at number 10. I still really enjoy it. I mean, it's very hard to split any of these games up. Alright, so without further ado, we go for number 9, and this is a game that I pretty much played when the system first came out, and it is a really good game. I used to love it in the advertisements and everything like that, and it's none other than Ladybug. I do have a complete copy of this one, a cardboard box copy, so you'll see some Australian ones in the pile. Now Ladybug is a maze game, like in a similar vein to Pac-Man, but it has its own particular quirks. Particularly with Ladybug, you have to rotate parts of the maze and trap various things, and you have the bonus options, and you know, spelling out extra and bonus, I think it is. You know, extra and special, and then you've got 2 times, 3 times, and 5 times. So there's quite a few things where you can get quite a few point multipliers. And it's a game that I played heaps when the Coleco first came out. Just pushes out another great game, Mousetrap, which is, I'll mention ones that just got pushed off the list as well. Alright, and now going across to Parker Brothers title, who looked after the console very well, did very good ports across multiple systems, but a really good game that I played to death back in the day was Frogger. Like, I have a complete copy. It really is a good version. The sound, the colour and graphics, just really spot on. Gameplay plays very well. Parker Brothers' attention to detail with the gameplay, how the game gets more difficult as you go through, and you know, it has a bit of skill and a bit of replayability, and the music's not exactly the same as the arcade, but it's not too bad, and it controls reasonably well, so that one definitely worth it. And now another one, a really good game. I haven't had a copy very long. My copy is sealed, and it's none other than Mr. Do. A really good arcade game. Much more, I mean, I used to really love Dig Dug back in the day and didn't get to play Mr. Do very much. I do actually have a non-working arcade PCB of Mr. Do as well, which I'd like to get working one day. But Mr. Do's just got that extra little bit of gameplay, where if you've got several different ways you can finish a level, either by just eliminating the enemies or gathering all of the cherries. And if you gather the cherries in appropriate sets, you get more bonus points, and you can also drop the apples on the enemies, and you can throw your rock, or whatever Mr. Do's rock is, and it bounces around, and you've got to wait for it to come back before you can throw it again. And then you need to get the enemies that spell out the words extra to get the bonus. So there's lots of strategy and gameplay in Mr. Do, and you know, 4 skill levels and multiple screens, so really well handled on the ColecoVision. So another one is a game that I didn't play back in the day. It's another great platform game. I don't have a complete copy. I have it in a printed cover hard case, but it's none other than Rock and Rope. 3 different levels, Obviously you have to try and get to the top, but you have a you've got to shoot your rope to go up, and you can climb some ladders and things like that. But it's actually quite a good complex game that's a bit more, I mean, it's a Donkey Kong-like game, if you know what I mean, but it's got its own fun and stuff like that. I don't ever remember playing that for real in the arcade, although now I'm saying this, I do actually remember playing this probably when I was on holidays in Queensland once. So I was very pleased when I finally got a copy of this. Obviously not complete, but it's complete enough for me so I can play the game. And really worth checking out on the Coleco if you haven't ever played it. Alright, we are now down to our top 5. Now you notice there's been no Donkey Kong. Well, the next game is a Donkey Kong game, but it's Donkey Kong Jr., which is the one I played more. And this is actually a sealed Australian copy that I have here. So they're in these Hess cases here in Australia, the later release titles. It's got 3 of the 4 Donkey Kong Jr. screens. Unfortunately it's missing the 4th one. There is an Adam version, an Adam tape version that has all 4 screens. But the original Donkey Kong Jr., this game, I mean, I loved Donkey Kong when it came out for the Coleco, and it was a great launch game. But Donkey Kong Jr. just has that little bit of extra gameplay in it, and I enjoy it more. Some of the jumps can be a little tricky and annoying, but it just gives that extra challenge, and a really, really good fun game, and one that I played to death back in the day. So one of the games that I've had a copy of or something from back in the day. We're going to swing back to Parker Brothers again. I had quite a few Parker Brothers games back in the day, and you noticed that some of those were represented in the shoot 'em up side of things. And our next game is Popeye. This is a really good conversion of the arcade. It is missing, it doesn't have all of the screens, but it does have, I can't remember, it's got 3 different screens. Might be 4 in the arcade. I've never played the arcade game. This version is absolutely spot on though. Game plays really well, looks really good. A couple of levels of difficulty to work through. Quite a challenging game. Probably in the sample gameplay here I haven't done very well. I haven't played it for a little while, obviously need some more practice, but that is a really good platform arcade game and an absolute spot on conversion from the arcade. Now the next one, number 3, so this is the top 3 games now. Next one is a bit of an obscure arcade game. Once again, I've never played the arcade game, but it is such a fun game. Another game that when we got the Coleco in the store back in the day, I played and I played and I played, and it's none other than Pepper 2. You have 4 mazes, of which you need to complete all 4 to complete a level, and you can flip between the mazes out the various exits. And it just got all those little bits and pieces, the intro music, lots of sound effects, very fast gameplay, and it gets faster as well. And it's one of those games where you get into the zone when you're playing it. And it's really fun. It's not too hard either, so to start with, and it has a couple of level selects, so you can start up a little bit. And played it to absolute death back in the day, and one of my favourite games on the ColecoVision, full stop. Now, number 2. What could number 2 be? We're back to Parker Brothers again. I really did like my Parker Brothers games back in the day, so we've taken the shoot 'em ups out, but there's one more arcade game, and it's an arcade game that I've played in the arcade. I have a mini arcade of it that I got recently, and it's none other than Q*bert. The version on the Coleco just plays so well. This demo footage that I'm playing here, I'm using my arcade stick. It's actually not the best thing to do. It's actually easier to use the Coleco controller because you can turn it on a slight angle. But it really is accurate, and it has all those little nuances. So like when you clear every 4 levels, you change modes. So first time you're playing Q*bert, you just have to jump on each square once, and nothing happens if you jump on them the second time. The next lot of 4 levels, you have to jump on every square twice, and re-jumping on a square once you've got up to the final goal does nothing. The third level, you need to jump on each square once and only once. If you jump on it again, it changes back to the original colour. And then it keeps on going with combinations up and above there, which is just like the arcade game. Obviously some slight differences. The arcade graphics were a lot taller, but it really does look good, look the part. All the characters look really good. Obviously sprites a little monochrome, there's no eyes on Q*bert and things like that, but it really is a very close conversion of the game, and just really good to play. And just like probably Frogger and other ones, another one that I played to absolute death back in the day. Alright, so what could be my number one game? There was so many to choose from, but this truly is a game. This game I discovered on the Intellivision and is actually my favourite game on the Intellivision. So when I discovered that there was a ColecoVision version, I was beside myself with joy of finding out about it. I don't have a complete copy, but I have a hard case copy, and it's none other than Burger Time. And really good conversion. It has, I believe, all of the levels in the arcade. I think there's 7 different level patterns from memory. I could be wrong there. There may actually be more than that. You've definitely got to have your wits about you to get through all of those. Once again, my gameplay here, which we'll cut to see, and we'll see out the end of my game. I don't get as far as I normally get, but truly excellent arcade conversion, really good fun game. Probably a little bit easier than the arcade game, because the arcade game is extremely hard, but just made it a little bit more playable for the home. You can just select between 1 and 2 players, so no levels, so you just go straight into it and play through, and it's a really good challenging game. And it's a game I can sit down and play for hours and hours and continue to get higher and higher scores. So they are my top 10 pick out of the original classic Coleco games. I'd be interested to know in yours. Yeah, celebrate the ColecoVision's 40th anniversary and play some Coleco games. Alright, we'll cut to the remainder of my gameplay of Burger Time. Didn't get very far, but left there for your entertainment. I'm Electric Adventures. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.